Hi, my name is Sarah, and today I've got a flexibility practice for you. So we're going to focus on strengthening, which is really the foundations of flexibility, and then we'll work a little bit deeper into some poses. This serves great as a standalone practice for flexibility, but you can also use it as a supplemental practice if you're doing martial arts or if you're doing some sort of sport that requires your body to be mobile, to be limber, and to be strong and flexible. Let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna begin standing, so go ahead and step your feet wide. You can bring your toes forward, hands to your hips, and we're just gonna start with some lunges side to side. So bend into your right knee. You're gonna lift up through center. As you do so, press your hips forward just slightly so that you're feeling a stretch in your hip flexors. Okay, so you're lunging, bringing your hips into extension. Think about squeezing your glutes at the top. And we're breathing the whole time. You may be feeling a stretch in your inner thighs. And as you bend into your knee, that bent knee is pressing towards the outer edge of your foot. So rather than letting your knee cave inward, it's tracking out. And we're just warming up. Let's go a little bit faster. Okay, we'll be here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, final 3, 2. Nice job. Go ahead, bring your feet in a little bit closer. You're going to turn out your toes. Arms sweep up, palms together. Exhale down to a goddess squat. So feet are wide, your knees continue to press back, hips are even, chest is up, shoulders relaxed. We're gonna do that a few more times. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, palms together, sink it low to your goddess squat. Avoid bowing your chest forward. You wanna be nice and tall in your spine. And you can really press into the knife edges of your feet to help stabilize yourself. We're gonna go for 4 more. Okay, last one. And then come on up, bring your feet underneath your hips. And we're gonna begin to strengthen your hip flexors. So you're gonna start, you can bring hands to your hips or maybe keep them up for balance. You're just gonna lift your right knee and then tap it down. Lift and tap. We're gonna go for 8 of those. So take 6 more. 5, 4, you're lowering your leg with control. 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Same thing, but now externally rotated. So you're gonna open up your hip and then you're gonna hover. 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2. Nice job. Other side. So taking it forward first, you lift. 8, 7, 6, 5. So not only are you strengthening your hip flexor, but also that standing leg, that base leg. And then go ahead, open up to the side. 8, 4, 3, 2. Nice job. Whew. Shake out your hips a little. We're gonna do that one more time to each side. So starting on the right, lift forward 8, 7, 6, and to the side, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Beautiful. Left side, forward, 7, 6. Okay, and to the side, I think that was 8. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Woo. Go ahead and release. Step your feet wide. We're just gonna take a big circle. Okay, so you're gonna sweep your arms up and over. Take it down to one leg, sweep through center. And then big circles, just full body. No right or wrong here. So big lateral stretch as you make your way down. And then when you're ready, reverse that circle. So other leg, take it up and over. Incorporating your hips. Take one more. Lift up through center, point your toes forward and just in slightly so that your heels are kind of splaying out. So a little bit of internal rotation. You're gonna bring your hands to your hips and we'll find a wide-legged forward fold. So begin by hinging at your hips. Okay, you're gonna stop halfway, long spine, and then exhale, go ahead, release down all the way. Hands can release from your hips. Walk them back in line with the arches of your feet and allow the crown of your head to fall towards the mat. Take a few breaths. Walk your hands forward, and then we're gonna take your hands towards your right foot. So you're gonna pivot towards the top edge of your mat, plant your palms, three-legged dog, right leg lifts. From here, low lunge, you're gonna step your foot forward between your palms, and then this is where it's nice to have blocks. So grab your blocks if you have them. If you don't have them, no worries, no big deal. Okay, go ahead, untuck your back toes. And we're just gonna use the blocks for a little bit of support. So we're gonna come into two variations of a low lunge. First one is more of a half kneel hip flexor stretch. So instead of dumping forward into your lunge, bring your hips back so that left hip is aligned over your left knee. From here, notice what's happening in your spine. So notice if you're arching your back and tilting your pelvis anteriorly. See if you can hug your navel in, a little bit of engagement in your core, and then tilt your tailbone down so that it's in more of a posterior pelvic tilt. Okay, so with all these dynamics, you're gonna be feeling a deeper stretch in your left hip flexor. So again, we want the hip aligned over knee, a little bit of engagement in your core, and then lastly, that posterior pelvic tilt. And we're just gonna hold here and breathe for a few moments. And then from here, we'll take it into a deeper lunge. So you can use your blocks. Try to keep your core engaged a little bit. You can walk your foot out and then just allow your hips to sink forward a little bit more. Maybe your front knee comes past your ankle. From your low lunge, half splits. Draw your seat back towards your heel. You're gonna extend your right leg, straightening your knee, pointing your toes towards your face, and then draping over your front leg. And then we'll flow back and forth a few times. So take it forward to your low lunge. Exhale, half splits. Forward and back. Take your time, notice the sensations in your hip flexor. Notice the sensations in your hamstring. We're going for 8 of these, so let's go for about 4 more. And 2 more. And last one, we'll hold our half splits, send your seat back, flex your toes. Take a moment, drape over your leg. Notice the stretch in the back of your right leg. And then walk your blocks back a little bit towards you. Tent your fingertips to the block. You're gonna lift your chest. I want you to stay nice and light on your fingers. And we're going to strengthen a little bit. So you're just gonna lift right leg, hover, and then lower back down. Can feel a little bit unnatural because we're in this odd position where you're lifting your leg. Okay, but we're gonna go for 8 of these. You're probably gonna feel your quad begin working. Go for 4 more. 3, 2. Nice job. Roll forward to your low lunge. And then we'll deepen the stretch a little bit. Your left arm sweeps up and over. And go ahead, release. From here, we're gonna begin to work into your splits. Okay, if you do not have your splits yet, it's all good. You're just gonna go as far as your range will take you. Tuck your back toes so we can keep your back leg active and we can keep your hips pretty closed and squared for this pose. You can flex your front foot and then slide forward. And then just gently begin inching your legs away from each other. And I'm not gonna force myself into this pose. And I advise that you don't either. Okay, so keep in mind, it's gonna be different day to day. But legs are inching away from each other. Once you feel like you've reached an end range, we're gonna do opposites. You're gonna pull your legs in towards each other without moving. It's a little bit of an isometric stretch. So legs aren't physically moving, but it's the action of activating your muscles, pulling them in towards each other, and then go ahead, release. Maybe you're a little deeper into the pose. Now again, it would be really easy to open up my back hip so I could get myself all the way down to the ground. But since this is a closed hip pose, continue to think about pulling your hips in, your legs in towards each other to keep your hips squared. We're gonna take about 3 more breaths here. It's really important to breathe, signal to your nervous system, you're safe, you're slowing your rate of breath, and that's gonna allow you to get a little bit more space, a little bit more length. Now we'll gently, carefully come on out of this, begin to slide that front foot back, bend into your front knee, and then go ahead, release. Let's put the blocks to the side for a moment. Downward facing dog, plant your palms, tuck your toes, lift your hips. And we're gonna take that little flow on side 2. So 3-legged dog, left leg up. Low lunge, step your foot forward between your palms. Grab your blocks if you've got them. Untuck your back toes, we'll come into our half kneel hip flexor stretch. So align your hip over your back knee. Notice what's happening in your spine. Are you arching? Are you flaring your ribs? Maybe you do start like this just so you can feel the difference of when you pull your hips back and as you drop your tailbone down. So just building up that awareness in your body. So you're in this posterior pelvic tilt, a little bit of engagement in your abdominals, and we're breathing into this stretch. Maybe feeling your psoas. Few more breaths. And then we'll come a little deeper. So try to maintain that engagement in your abdominals as you begin to lean forward. Maybe front knees going past your ankle. And again, we're only doing this if it feels okay in your joints, right? No need to push, no need to force. Be patient with yourself. And then we're gonna take it into half splits. So push your hips back towards your heel, flex your front foot, drape over your leg. And then flowing through this 7 more times, you come forward, lift your chest, and then exhale, half splits. Take your time. Okay, about 2 more. On your last one, hold your half splits. And then walk your blocks in towards you, tent your fingertips to your blocks, lift your chest, and you're gonna lift your front leg. So going for 8. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Roll forward into your lunge. Let's take the right arm up and over, deepening the stretch. And release. We're coming into your variation of a front split. So tuck your back toes. Maybe walk that knee back. You can extend the front leg and begin to slide your front foot forward. Working slowly. Don't push it too far, right? If you injure yourself, if you're working on something consistently, especially with flexibility, and then injure yourself because you push too hard, it really does set you back more than if you were just patient with yourself in the first place. And keep in mind, your sides are going to be different side to side. I'm definitely a lot less flexible on this side. When you're ready, you can begin to pull your legs in towards each other. Think of like kind of like a scissor effect. And then pull, pull, pull. Feel your muscles activate, maybe a little bit of trembling in your legs. That means you're doing it right. And then relax into it. About 3 more breaths here. When you're ready, slowly, gently begin to pull that front foot in, bend into your knees. Zooey mama. In the words of Raleigh from Diary of a Wimpy Kid. One of the cinematic greats. All right, put your blocks to the side, plant your palms, tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. Three-legged dog, right leg up. Go ahead, open up your hip. So stack your hips. We'll come into a pigeon pose. Right knee draws forward behind your wrist. Extend left leg long behind you. Now, if you'd like to inch your front foot a little bit more so that your shin is parallel or more or closer to parallel to the short edge of your mat, you can. Lengthen your back leg. You're going to lift through your fingertips. Big inhale. And exhale to soften into your pigeon. Take a few breaths. So you may be feeling the stretch in your right glute and outer hip. Next, we'll focus on strengthening your abductors. So let's come to the right forearm. You're going to roll onto your right side. So the right leg is bent to your bottom leg. Your hips are aligned. Front leg is just going to hover. Flex your foot so that your heel is in line with your glute. Try not to collapse into your shoulder. If this is an uncomfortable position, you can always bring your head to your hand instead. Okay, we're going to run through a little side kick series. So you're going to bend into your left knee, take a side kick, and then 8 pulses. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do that again. You bend, you kick, you pulse. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend, kick, you pulse. 7, 6, 5. Make sure your knee is pointing forward, right? It's not up. Point that knee forward. We got two more rounds. Kick, pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last one, bring it in. Kick, pulse. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, release. We're passing through a Sphinx pose. So roll onto your belly, plant your palms, press into your forearms. Think about pulling your chest through your arms. So pulling your chest towards your fingertips. Draw your shoulders down. And then bend into your left knee. So we're going to take a half frog in your Sphinx pose. So continue to find that activation in your upper body. Your knee is in line with your hip and you're flexing your toes or flexing your foot. Take 3 breaths here. And let's release your leg. We're gonna make our way back to downward facing dog to repeat on side 2. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. And let's repeat 3-legged dog, left leg up. Pigeon pose, bend your knee, send it forward behind your wrist. Extend your right leg long behind you. And remember, you can adjust your leg. Just stretch a little bit deeper into your hip if you like. Press through your fingertips, lift your chest, and then soften into your pigeon. Coming to your left forearm, you're gonna roll onto your left side. Keep that bottom leg bent. Flex your right foot, stack your hips, hover that leg up. Okay, remember, you can take your head down to your hand if that's more comfortable. Okay, let's run through our flow. You're gonna bend your knee, side kick, and it's pulse. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and in. Kick, pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and in. Kick, pulse. 7, 3, 2, 1. We got 2 more rounds. Take it out and pulse. Last one, in, kick, pulse. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo. Go ahead, release. Make your way to Sphinx, rolling onto your belly, pressing into your forearms, pulling your chest forward, and then rolling shoulders down. Bringing right leg to a half frog. Bend into your right knee. Flex your foot. Knee is in line with your hip. Continue to find engagement in your upper body. A few more breaths. And we're gonna go ahead and release. From here, we're coming into a full frog. You can stay facing the short edge of your mat. If your knees are a little bit more sensitive, I would recommend facing the long side of your mat so you can have a little bit more padding for your knees. You can also use the blocks here if you like. You're gonna bring your knees wide. Hips come in line with your knees, feet are flexed, and then begin to lower. Coming to your forearms or to your palms. Sometimes I like to rock forward and back a little bit to find the spot where the sensation is the most intense so that we can hold and breathe in that spot. Right? If your hips are too forward, you're probably not going to feel as much stretch as you could. So bring your hips back in line with your knees. And focus on breathing. You can actually arch your back a little bit here. So let your back arch. And we'll take about 10 more breaths here. And we'll gently make our way out. So really gently, slowly, palms come down. Bring your toes together and then walk your hands back. And then you can bring your knees in a little bit closer. Okay, so always moving really mindfully and gently out of these poses. Right? A lot of injuries happen in transitions, so always just go slowly. Let's come to a wide-legged forward fold. So come to a seat, bring your feet wide. You're gonna bring your toes up towards the sky, so flexed feet, and then activating through your quads. So think about pulling your kneecaps up towards your thighs. Again, you can use the blocks if you like. Okay, you're gonna lift through your chest. Before we settle into the pose, bring your arms wide. And then you're just gonna bring your chest down towards the ground as low as you can go. and then just using the strength of your legs, lift back up. We're just gonna do that 2 more times. So lower and lift. Last one. Beautiful. And now, keeping your spine long, you can begin to walk your hands forward, maybe using your blocks if you like. Still keep your legs active. We'll take about 10 breaths here. And beginning to lift up, use your hands right underneath the backs of your knees to lift your legs. Okay, your legs may be feeling a little bit tender, a little sensitive. That's okay, they will return to normal shortly. And you're just gonna windshield wiper your legs. Take your time finding some internal and external rotation of your hips. And we're gonna finish up here. If you made it through the whole practice, wonderful work. Stick with it. With consistency and patience, you will see results. Thank you so much for practicing with me. If you liked the video, please subscribe to the channel and have a wonderful rest of your day.